Thank you, Amanda. So it is my absolute honor and privilege, and I am so grateful to have Dr. Paul Arciero here with us. For those of you who are Paul, you know that when he speaks, just the most amazing information and heartfelt passion comes from him. And if you're able to see on the screen, you'll see some of his bio, but I'm going to just read a little bit to you, just in case you can't or you didn't get our post in our team page. So Dr. Paul Arciero is the Director of Human Nutrition, Metabolism, and Performance in the Performance Laboratory and Professor in the Department of Health and Humans Physiological Sciences at Skidmore College. And he has served as a research professor in the Psychology and Neurosciences Department at Union College. And if you were able to read that, there's a lot more to that besides. He's the author of the Amazon #1 bestseller, The Prize Life book, and it's based upon his more than 70 peer-reviewed scientific research publications of easily executed lifestyle strategies to lose weight, gain muscle, reduce disease, and improve physical and cognitive performance. He has he's been the performance and nutrition expert advisor to world-class athletes, and he's been on major TV shows and publications. And if you have not downloaded yet his Prize, and that's PRISE, okay? Suddenly the sun came out from the clouds and I'm in a light bubble over here. There we go. It's because of Dr. Paul. So if you haven't had a chance to download his PRISE Life app, it's free, it's online, and it's in the Apple Store. And I very, very highly recommend and strongly recommend you do so, because it is absolutely incredible. And I asked Dr. Paul if he would be on with us this evening for a few reasons, two of which are that we are the new studies that we released recently in the obesity and body composition arena, and also in the gut health / microbiome arena. And before I ask him to speak on that, I would love it, Dr. Paul, if you wouldn't mind sharing with everybody why you do what you do and why this is such a passion for you.
Oh, Kelly, thanks for having me. Oh, this is great to see some familiar faces here. I mean, I think I'm doing it the same reason why all of you are, with the exception that I can't make a living at what you do because I can't be an associate. And that's really important. I guess that's a good way for me to start, is that I guess this really captures the essence of why I do what I do, without me being able to benefit in the way that all of you do, in terms of creating a career and a financial well-being from it. This is my mission, as I'm sure all of you have found yours with what you are doing. This has got to be popularized. It has to be brought to the masses. I mean, this scientific data is life-changing for the world, and I don't say that lightly. I don't mean to speak out of context. I really firmly believe it. I think without any doubt, and again, I should probably remove the word think. The data speaks for itself. There's no opinion. And so, Kelly, you asked why I do it. I do it because we are at a critical junction right now in terms of the world's health. And until we grab hold of this information and really get out there to the world and scream it from the rooftops, we're going to continue on the trajectory of where we're going. And that's disease, unhealth, and early death for millions of people. We're just not executing a healthy, optimal lifestyle. And that's what this data speaks to. And that's why I'm so excited to be able to share it whenever I can. So yeah, I mean, this is my mission. And I grab every opportunity I can to share it with as many people as I can. Again, science doesn't have an opinion. It is what it is. It's objective. And I think you all are sitting on literally an optimal health gold mine. I'll say it again. You all are sitting on an optimal health gold mine because the scientific data that you have that supports what you are all doing every day and what I'm doing every day in my own lifestyle is based on scientific data, valid scientific data, credible scientific data that no one else has. And so that's why I do what I do. And that's why I'll take every opportunity I can to let people know that this is a scientifically proven, the most effective lifestyle that we have available currently to improve people's health and performance. And so, we always talk about health, but this is also about us being able to just live our lives at a higher level of existence. So it's one thing being healthy, but I think you would all agree it's something completely different when we can actually get out and execute in the world of living at the highest level possible. And that's what this data allows you to speak from. So yeah, it's second to none. And I hope that all of you can get inspired to bring it to everybody. It shouldn't be restricted for just people. I don't talk about weight loss in my research. In fact, my research doesn't really emphasize anything related to weight loss. That just happens to be, another side effect. This is more about improving people's health at the highest level, and then allowing them to perform their life at a higher level. So, yeah, it's exciting data.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. And I from the horse's mouth, as they say, and if you don't have a horse, basically you can tell the age of a horse and a lot of what's going on with them from inside their mouth. That's where that saying comes from. So there are the two studies that most recently came out. I know that the company's really emphasizing the gut biome, that basically the gut health, the microbiome. And that's one. And when we were speaking, you were really excited about the obesity and body composition aspect of it. So can you share with us why the data is just so energizing to you and so profound?
Yeah, for sure. When we think about our health, we think about things that are observable, that are at face value, eye value, things we can see. And so, yeah, what you have is something that clearly benefits people at the level of their physical, visible health, right? They look better. And that's one of the things that I document consistently when I conduct studies using the Isagenix products, is that people get healthier by their appearance. People get improved physical performance. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about athletes, although I've done research, as you all know, with people that are fitness minded and Division I athletes using the products, and they improve drastically, significantly. So yes, they work with athletes and fitness minded people, but just everyone else that just wants to live a healthier life and perform life better, they get better. So I think that the physical benefits that we've seen, and Obesity Journal is the latest study. If you haven't read that or seen the summary of those findings, you should definitely see them, because what we observed there was, for the first time, results of that magnitude of health improvement. And we were comparing it to really the leading, what we call diet, although this is a lifestyle, so I don't like to group it under the diet heading, but we compared it to the leading diet, that Mediterranean heart healthy diet, and there was just no comparison. But both improved, and I say that unequivocally, right? So when you look at the data, both groups had drastic improvements in their physical health. So their body composition improved, meaning they lost body fat, but specifically they lost visceral abdominal fat. Their lean body mass percentage improved significantly. Of course, they lost massive amounts of weight, but that was just a side effect. Their blood pressure, their heart health, their metabolic health, all improved. But the degree by which the group following the what we call the intermittent nutritional fasting protein pacing using the Isagenix products improve drastically better to a significant degree. And I've mentioned this on a couple of other calls that it got the interest of the leading experts in the world. I had a number of leading authorities from Harvard University, from other world-class medical institutions that reached out to me personally. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the paleo diet or with the zone diet. Both of the originators from both of those diets reached out to me specifically asking, if I'd be interested in doing some research for them. So it definitely caught the eye of the leading experts from the medical community and then the leading gurus in the diet world. And so, yeah, you have something very unique. I'm going to say it again. And if you don't realize that, I know you all do. But speak from a standpoint of, I know you all have phenomenal anecdotal stories, either of yourself, of improvement that you've had, or clients that you've worked with, and people that you know firsthand that have benefited remarkably from following this. But when you can marry those things together with this scientific data, it brings it to another level of credibility, of validity, that no one can argue. And I think that's what separates it. And so I just want to highlight that because you have something very unique. Every company has anecdotal, personal, testimonial stories. I'm sorry to say it. I've been to a lot of these other companies and I've seen some of them, and they all have these mind-blowing examples of people that have just had miraculous improvements in their overall health. But here's the difference. When you ask them if they have science to back that up, you know what they have? They have a goose egg. What you have is a mound of scientific data. So it's on a completely different playing field. So I just want to remind you all of that difference that you have that makes you the leader with not even a close second. So what we also did in that study is we collected stool samples, of course, as Kelly said, to measure the microbiome. And why that's so important is, first of all, it's the second brain. We call it that because there's a direct line of communication with nerves and with hormones and crosstalk between our gut and our brain. It's the one other organism in the entire body. Not even the heart has that direct line of communication that the gut has. That's why we call the gut the second brain, because it has such a close relationship with the brain. And what we did was we documented at the highest level of scientific sophistication and scrutiny of what was changing in the gut. We had to measure their stool samples, so it was kind of smelly and nasty. But what is required in order for us to have the highest level of scientific evidence of the improvement in our gut that influences not just our brain health, but also our immunity, our hormonal, our endocrine, everything that is functioning inside of our body is really born out of our gut. And I'd love to share you all the details, and in time I will be able to do that, but we're getting ready to submit it to the leading science journal in the world. It's called Nature Communications, and if you're not familiar with Nature Communications, you should look it up on Google. It's one of the highest rated science journals in the world. I'm not saying the paper is going to be automatically accepted into that journal, but if it does, it'll be another line of evidence that Isagenix stands alone at the top with no one even close in terms of the scientific support. And we believe it will. I believe it will. I'm the primary investigator, and I think the quality, I've been publishing science papers for 37 years, and this data that we have in our possession with the changes to the gut microbiome that have occurred in those that have been following the intermittent nutritional fasting and protein pacing using the Isagenix products compared to the heart healthy Mediterranean type diet are mind-blowing. Literally, they're mind-blowing. And it'll revolutionize how we look at lifestyle protocols to enhance our health and performance in a way that we've never come close to understanding prior to this. And I can just say that, and I don't say that lightly, by the way, at all. I have a scientific reputation, and that's one of the things that I can do. I can speak unbiased. I can speak agnostically. I don't submit to just one company in terms of my funding and the research that I do. I have multiple sources of research that I conduct studies from, but I can say from a standpoint of effectiveness that Isagenix is at the top of the list. So one other thing that I'm able to share now publicly, and I think you're the first Zoom of Isagenix that I will have done this with, so you guys should feel pretty special. As some of you might know, I'm often asked to join and come on board and get recruited for other universities and colleges. And so one college has been pursuing me for about 5 years. And every time I went back to them saying, if the only way I would leave my current position is if, I had this. And so I have accepted my wife and I have accepted another faculty position at a leading university. So we'll be in a new place starting in September. And it's the University of Pittsburgh is where we'll be going. And it's one of the leading research institutions in the country, if not the world. So delighted. But that's what my research is doing. It's at that level of acceptance, of acknowledgement and sophistication and success, in terms of the value that it brings to people's health. So really excited. But I'll leave you with this. One of the findings that we found in this study, I have to be careful what I say because I know this is being recorded, is that the gut microbiome changed significantly better in the experimental group compared to the other group, in a way that benefits us not just from our gut, but from, again, the crosstalk that it has with the brain, but then also our blood. We call it the metabolome. So one is the microbiome. That's what we have in our gut, but we took it several steps further than that. It's called translational physiology, proteomics that we're doing, and metabolomics. We wanted to see what influence the changes in the gut had with the other really important messengers that travel in the blood. And we showed some powerful benefits from the changes that were occurring in the gut that were also simultaneously, at the same time, occurring in the blood that then dictated a further downstream response in the rest of the body at a level that's never been shown before. So I can just leave you with that, not talking too much detail, but just saying that the findings are monumental, groundbreaking, and I'm super excited to be able to have the opportunity to speak more about it in the coming months once we get this paper out into publication. But just know, I can just say from in closing, because I don't want to go on, that you're in a wonderful place in terms of what you have in your hands, literally in your hands and in your body, to be able to then share with the rest of the world at a level that's never been shown before. And so if I can continue to support you on this journey, that would make me a happy person. And I'm excited for you because, like I said, it's the most effective lifestyle program that we have available to help change people's health.
First and foremost, congratulations on your new position and being able to have, obviously the tools that you've been desiring to have. If they've come through for you, then that speaks volumes. And so we're all so happy for you. And thanks for sharing that with us. Secondly, the data that you shared, I've been taking copious notes. So I really hope everyone else was too, because to be able to share this information and go back and look it over, but you do have the Zoom recording to refer to it. But so phenomenal. So appreciate you emphasizing why this is of such huge value, because it's really easy for people to take certain things for granted and to understand the impact that it makes, and how easy it is, and how easy of a lifestyle it is to do, to lead, to get these results, right?
It is. It's been well thought out, and there's so many more that are coming on the horizon. I know that one of you acknowledged Biotics, and that's going to be a wonderful addition to the line, because of the fact that it has. With our gut, we have both. I'm sorry for interrupting, Kelly, but you just got me thinking about something.
This is what I want to do. I was going to ask that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the gut benefits from what we call probiotics, and we're familiar with those. Those are things that are, those are bacteria, live cultures that are in things like yogurt, for example, and other things that we consume. But then we also know that our gut benefits tremendously. In fact, in some ways, even more so than probiotics. Those are preformed live cultures from prebiotics. So the probiotics are wonderful because they're preformed live cultures that can get into the gut right away and do their thing. But when they have to work a little bit harder in their preformed state, and when they get into the bacteria, they kind of work their magic and become something unique all by themselves. They in turn benefit the gut in sometimes even more beneficial ways. And so that's what, for example, the Biotics has, is some prebiotics. And I've been studying prebiotics for over a decade now, and what they have in the Biotics is phenomenal. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to be able to share that with the IsaGenics family as well. But yeah, it's not stopping. They're continuing moving on the cutting edge of all of this lifestyle modification, and so yeah, I think that's really important, and it's just going to continue to further support the data that you have. These latest research findings are phenomenal, but you also have over, I think, almost 10 years now of data that I've been collecting on the IsaGenics products, simultaneously of doing my other research that I do sometimes with other nutrition companies, to benefit from. And it's been a great evolution. And that's one thing that I've always talked about, the innovation that places IsaGenics at the leading edge of providing health and wellness and performance to the world. They're not content with just sitting on what they've already developed, but looking to the future to continue to innovate and provide new technologies and new precision lifestyle medicine and nutrition strategies to enhance people's health. And that's what they're committed to. So yeah, you're all in a wonderful place. Stay true and continue doing the great work that you're doing. And I'm grateful and honored to be able to, support you in the little way that I am. So thank you.
And Dr. Paul, I saw a question in the chat.
Oh.
I made the 30 days after the 30-day system, the basic, I think with the 30-day reset, I guess what we're calling it now, system is the one that you've been using in the studies.
It is. Yeah. I think it's pretty close to that. I didn't see the question, but yeah, we used the Isoline Pro, and of course the Ionics. We've used Hydrate. I mean, those are the main ones. The Cleanse for Life, obviously, the bone broth. So those are the main flagship products that we've used. But along the way, I've incorporated many of the other products into the research that I've done, showing just as magnificent of results. But I'm pretty sure it's very closely aligned with the 30-day.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I did just see that through, and. If I can ask just one more question.
Yeah.
So I've heard you speak before on the protein and what people need for the basically basic amount of protein daily, because I know everyone gets so confused. Have this much, don't have this much, what have you. Can you just give a ballpark on the amount of protein? And I know we're all different beings and all different weights and all different whatevers.
Yeah.
But the amount of protein that's desirable, because I know that, with our shakes, what they're providing for us, if you could just speak to the value of, and, with your prize, right, your prize life, you really emphasize this, but the value of the protein pacing, with the value of the protein intake.
Yeah, so it does vary. And I was listening on at the beginning, and I want to make sure that I'm sensitive to that. And I'll just put it out there that for the majority of people, unless you have some pre-existing health condition, specifically and primarily with kidney function, if kidney function is not working at its most efficient way, then you want to just monitor the amount of protein that you're taking in. But for the vast majority of the population, that would include 90% or more of the population, they should look toward on a daily basis consuming somewhere, if they're not undergoing an intermittent fast or a cleanse, as you call it, in isogenics, somewhere around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight is what is recommended. And that's proven to be most effective. So in all of the research that I've done, we've used roughly that formula. Now it varies. So if you're somebody who's looking for body composition increase, accretion, we call it. So if you're a really fitness-minded person and you want to develop and build new, healthy, lean muscle mass, you want to stay a little bit toward the higher end to that 1 gram of per pound of body weight, and in some cases even higher than that, 1.2. And I would say in the same light, those of you that have more than 15 to 20 pounds of body fat to lose. So if you're looking to lose body fat, so we're not talking about weight, we're talking about body composition here. So in order for you to stimulate your body fat loss, especially the fat that's located abdominally around your visceral organs, you want to strive for a higher amount of that amount of protein. So you want to strive for closer to the 1 gram per pound of body weight. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're trying to lose, but you're eating more. And the reason is because when you are reducing calories, if you're reducing protein along with it, yes, you'll lose weight, but you're going to lose what you don't want to lose, and that's your lean body mass. And so you want to keep that protein up high. And then for most other people that are at a weight stable place of healthy body composition, somewhere around that 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight is the ideal.
And children?
Yeah, so in children, again, you have to be really, careful about how you're recommending this. But oftentimes we know that even among children, their protein intake is well below what it should be. That's why we're suffering right now in our current society with such extreme rates of childhood obesity. They're under protein eating, and there's no denying that. That's an obvious situation we have right now. So yeah, we need to increase the protein amount. They should be looking toward at a minimum of that, again, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Again, that's not a lot for them because they're undergoing growth and development. So a safe amount, if you were just to do, let's say you had a young daughter or son that was at 100 pounds. And again, the ages are going to vary a little bit. So if you're multiplying that by 0.8, it's about 80 grams. So that would be about the lowest you'd want to go. So per meal, what I like to do to make it a little bit simpler for the children is just aim to get them about 15 to 20 grams of protein during 4, depending upon how active they are, 5 eating situations a day. So that'll put them at about that 80 to 100 grams. And that's a good rule of thumb. So that would be for developing young boys and girls. For high school level adolescents and teenagers, they can easily go up again because of their increased energy needs and other foods that they would be eating in place of the high quality protein. You want to keep them again close to that 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Yep, of high quality protein. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know you said that on a different Zoom, and that Zoom was deleted, so I wanted to hear it again. I appreciate and respect your time, and I thank you for I know it's later in the evening for you, for joining us, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge, and we are eternally grateful for you doing what you do and being here. And if there's anything else you'd like to share, we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, certainly we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Well, thanks for having me. you know, what's always impressed me from the time that I first met the Isagenix family and the first events I went to and the people that I met just along the way, sometimes just on spontaneous, casual interactions, is the service-minded mindset that you have. You're there to serve others, but you do it with a grateful heart, and that means a lot. And a perspective on life that is very life-giving. And so, yeah, no, I applaud all of you for the work that you do. It's inspiring. And so I'm so excited because you have the mindset, you have the service mind, the gratefulness, you have the life-serving mission that you're trying to give to other people, not just yourself, but to others as well. And then you have on top of that the science to help support it and back it up. It's a total win-win all around. So I'm going to be a loyal and faithful servant as much as I can be because of all the good work that you're doing. So thanks for having me, and I'm happy to jump on another call. And I'm excited to get that microbiome metabolome study published so I can speak in much greater detail. But just know that it's really incredible data. So it's following suit to what we've already been showing with much of the other research. So have a wonderful evening. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hopefully you all, if you missed anything, we've got it recorded. As you know, it's just mind-blowing information and really speaks to the beautifulness of our company. And so I hope that you all enjoyed that as much as I did.